Rico Osmeña of Daily Tribune and DYNA Radio. You were with the Marcos administration, being the executive secretary or the little president. At this point in time, Attorney Vic, why is it that, while you maybe you were outside na kulambo ka na, pero why now that mukhang ang dating po natin ay anti-Marcos na ikaw ay privy masyado from organizing sa campaign period hanggang sa pagkapanalo ng presidente, hanggang mag-little president ka. Bakit po ganito ang sitwasyon? Bakit ganito po na si Attorney Vic Rodriguez ay nagkasama sa maisog at medyo ang posisyon ay anti-Marcos?
I am not anti-Marcos, I am not anti-Bongbong. I am pro-Filipino. At ang pagkakaibigan ay sadya mong tatalikuran kapag ka ang nakatayan ay ang kinabukasan ng bansa at ng bawat Pilipino. Alam mo ninyo, hindi ako anti-Bongbong. Antay ako sa maling pulisiyang isinusulong ni Pangulong Bongbong Marcos. Bongbong and I, we were friends. He was good to me, and I believe I was good to him. Kaya nga kayo nagsama ng matatayo. Yan anti-Bongbong. Hindi ako anti-Marcos. I have nothing against him personally. But look at what's happening to the country. Look at the direction of the country. When we were planning, when we were dreaming, one day when this campaign will be very successful and you will be blessed with another chance na hindi lahat ay mabibigyan ng pangalawang pagkakataon, we will do well para sa mga bata at para sa mga darating pang Pilipino. Yun ang aming pact, if you may call it a pact. At yun ay malayo-malayo na sa mga nangyayari ngayon. And I feel greatly responsible and accountable. Dahil alam naman nilang lahat, ako pa rin ang umaharap sa inyo noong mga panahon na yung mga nakapaligid sa kanya ni Anino ay ayaw ibigay sa Anino niya. Yun ang katotohanan. Marami rin naman akong nakumbinsi na bigyan niyo ng pagkakataon. Give him a second hard look and try to know him more. And baka ito na ang magpapatuloy ng days of the then incumbent administration. And I was all for it. Pero yung nangyayari ngayon, hindi na po ito interest ng Pilipino. Hindi natin interest ng pagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagpapagp ang tawag mo doon sa issue nga natin sa Sabah? Nakalimutan na o sadyang tinatabunan. Dapat siya, kung masigasi ka dito sa issue ng South China Sea, ganun ka rin dito. How do you call now the government na hindi tinitingnan yung issue at claim natin sa Sabah? Pro-Malaysian sila. Yung mga nagsasalita, nagiging kritiko ng maling polisiya, traidor kayo sa Pilipinas at kayo ay pro-China. O hindi tanongin natin, paano yung sa Malaysia at sa Sabah? Sinong nag-traidor sa Pilipino? Wala na, hindi na nga nila napapag-usapan. So going back, I'm not against him, I have nothing against him personally. It's all policy. At kinabukasan natin lahat ito. Ang kinakailangan natin ituloy, yung mga nakikita natin mali. And karapatan ng bawat Pilipino magsalita sa mga nakikita nilang pagmamalabis at maraming pagkukulang ng pamahalaan. Yan ang totoo at yan ang katotohanan.
Sa planning stage, kasi follow-up lang, Attorney Vic. Kasi sa planning stage ng Marcos administration, doon kayo.
Yes.
Talagang nakadikit kayo at alam nyo ng programa politikal, programang kultural, programang ekonomiya. So parang Siyempre, ang publiko nagtatanong ngayon, what happened to Atty. Vic Rodriguez na little president biglang ngayon. Kahit whether we like it or not, Atty. Vic, yung mga pananalita mo, sinasabi natin na hindi anti-Marcos, pero right now, we are criticizing the present administration sa kanilang mga polisiya na kasama po kayo na supposed to be pag-planning stage at pag-implement it.
I will always side with the Filipino people. I have said this many times, and I'll say it again. I will always side with the Filipino people. And again, I feel accountable and greatly responsible for his victory. And I think, with all humility, I have the right to say that, not to brag about it, but to profess to everyone how guilty I feel every time I see and witness day in and day out for the last 2 years na namamali na yung tinatahak na landas ng kasulukuyang administrasyon. People still call me every day. Wala akong magawa, wala akong ituwa. Ang sinasabi nila, wala ho kaming boses, wala kaming tinig. Can you be our voice? Hanggang kaya ko, okay. Not for me, kundi para sa Pilipinas, kundi para sa Pilipino. We only have one country. At itong napipintong digmaan, pag hindi natin naaabatan ito, I tell you, mas mahirap mong i-rectify, mas mahirap mong pigilin ang isang digmaang nagsimula na kesa sa isang napipintong digmaan pala. That is why I am very, very intense and passionate and vocal with the advocacy of Akbang ng Mag-isog. No to war, and let's push for peace.
For Ma'am Pang, what do you expect from this afternoon's National Day of Protest? Is there any activities that going to happen? Who are the groups joining?
Yes, after the press con, there's a grand motorcade, and that will start at 3 p.m. until 5 p.m. And at 5 p.m. there's going to be a food sharing of around 200 indigent families and gift giving in the grounds of Redemptorist Church. And shortly after, there's going to be a Mass for Peace at 6 p.m. And afterwards, candlelight outside the church near the Father Roman Shrine. That's the activities. Redemptorist Church. Yeah, we have to be in the vicinity of the church because it's safer. Kasi alam mo naman how things are going.
And dagdag ko lang yung tanong nyo kay Pang. Just like any advocacy and just like any advocate, we have to bring it to the consciousness, the real issues. We have to bring it to the consciousness, hopefully, of each and every Filipino. So that when decision time comes, it's up to the Filipino people. We have to bring it to the consciousness of each and every Filipino. Mulatin natin. At pag dumating yung panahon, kinakailangan tayo ng desisyon. Halimbawa, gera o kapayapaan. Nasa sa inyo. If you want to choose the path of peace, well and good. If tatalo ng mga pro-war ang kapayapaan, siguro, yun ang ating tadhana at yun ang ating magiging kasaysayan. But bago dumating yung puntong niya, kami sa Akbang ng Mag-isog ay umaasa na maipahatid na natin sa lahat ng sulok ng Pilipinas yung mga bagay na dapat lahat tayo ay may say. Walang mayaman, walang mahirap, walang pobre, walang makapangyarihan. Ang nakataya dito, buhay nyo, buhay ko, buhay natin lahat, at ang kinabukasan ng Pilipinas at ng Pilipino. Kaya dapat tayo lahat may pakialam.
Hi. Attorney Vic, may adlaw, Elmer Hugalbot, I'm just a blogger. Marami sana akong itatanong sa iyo, but I will condense it to two very important questions. Being front and center and within the inner circle of the Marcos admin for quite a few months, I just would like to ask your evaluation on the current management dynamics within the foreign policy circle of the President. Una rin dyan, yung nangyari nga na insidente in Ayungin on June 17, na wherein one of our Naval Operations Special Operations Group frontmen lost a finger, kasi nga nag-agreean doon, no? And during that time, between June 17 and June 24, it was apparent that there was no clear statement and stand ang ating gobyerno. No? They were flip-flopping on their statements, starting with the AFP Chief Browner, I think the day after the incident. And then you have the spokesman for the National Task Force for West Philippine Sea, Commodore Cariela, also condemning China. And then on the 21st of June, you have the chairman of the National Maritime Council, Executive Secretary Bersamin, apparently de-escalating the rhetoric and calling it an accident or perhaps a misunderstanding. However, on the 24th of June, you have the Defense Secretary Ivo Chodoro re-escalating his rhetoric, calling China a parang barbaric act nga, no? What China did. And he also reiterated that position during the hearing of Senator Imy's Foreign Affairs Committee. So, ang tanong ko, Atty. Vic, this is my first question, and I would add to it na lang, why is it now that there seems to be a disconnect between our diplomatic stance and our diplomatic statements, which are now being aired by military men? You hardly see our diplomats, even the most respected journalist, Jaime Flor-Cruz, who is our ambassador in Beijing, is apparently silent. So, that's one question. Ano nga ba, who is running our diplomatic policy? Who is, sinong nag-a-architect ngayon? Is it our chief diplomat or our top diplomat, our president, who is de facto our chief architect of foreign policy and commander-in-chief? Or is it somebody else? That's number one. Number two is the June 14 expose of Reuters, which has grabbed headlines all over the world, that there was indeed a Pentagon-sponsored disinformation campaign against Sinovac in 2020 to 2021. It was reported by Reuters. It was picked up by all media globally. However, mainstream media in the Philippines, I'm so sorry to say, was not, shall I say, hindi masyadong pinikap, hindi masyadong pinover, and in fact, hindi nga parang binalang bahala na lang or something to that effect, no? Which now brings me again to my second question. I've heard the first time you called social media the new media in one of your my Zoom leaders forum. I think it was somewhere in Luzon. Now you are also repeating it now that social media is the new media. So my question now is, how do you see the role of social media people like me and people, our friends here from social media, in this era of seemingly, information wars between the two sides, China and the Philippines, and sadly and very unfortunately, we, the Philippines, are being caught in between. And I remember exactly what President Duterte said. If two elephants go to battle, ang pinakakawawa ay yung gagdamo, ang grass, or something to that effect. Thank you.
Tama yan. In fact, Yung sinabi rin niya ni then BBM, kandidato siya, na ano ang stand niya sa South China Sea issue. Ang kanya naman, kapag ka bumahing ang Estados Unidos o China, bumahing lang yan, mabubura na ang Pilipinas sa mapa. By analogy, same with the line of PRRD. Kasi totoo naman na huwag niyong tingnan na vloggers lang kayo. Kayo na ang new media. The only difference, ladies and gentlemen, my dear vloggers, yung katotohanan, malakas lang di hamak kumita sa inyo yung traditional media because of their prime time advertising spot. But in the way and the manner you carry out information, higit kayong mabilis. Real time kayo. You can report and upload events as they happen. Huwag kayong ma-intimidate diyan sa mga traditional media. Wala na yan. Bakit kayo pinununood ng libo-libo ninyong followers? Whether real time or replay. Dahil sukang-suka na sila sa sugar-coated na balita. Alam naman ng tao na hindi na rin totoong balita ang lumalabas sa traditional media. I'm not afraid to speak this way. Ang pushback lang naman yan, babanatan talaga ng babanatan yan. Yun nga, talagang ganun. Ang pinaka-kinamumuhian ng mga taong nagsisinungaling ay yung nagsasabi ng katotohanan. And in telling the truth, there is really a price to pay. It's just up to that person or to that group if you're willing to confront that threat na babalatan ka na. Ganun talaga ang buhay. May gawin ka o wala, babalatan ka. Ikaw yung may tama. Yan, sila mana. Kaya huwag niyong isipin yung sarili niyo na second class media. No. You are at par. And the way most of you present your discourse to the public through your platforms, I tell you, mas kahanga-hanga pa ang inyong diskurso. Of course, hindi mo maiiwasan yung iba dyan, nagre-content at ang trabaho lang sa buhay ay manira, ay kumana. Huwag na natin pansinin yun. Walang society perfect. May ganun talaga And you just have to take the good with the bad. That's life. Sige lang. Huwag kayong yung sa mga kalsada, huwag kayong mababanghimuhan sa traditional media. You are already at par with them. And keep on improving. And continue elevating the public discourse the way you have presented yung inyong mga platform. At kaya nga from the beginning sinabi ko, papasalamat ako sa inyo. Because I do not know how far will be the gains of hakbang ng Maisog without the new media, without social media, without you. Kaya muli on behalf of hakbang ng Maisog, maraming salamat sa inyo. Now, to your question. Number one, flip-flopping, magulo-magulo, iba sinasabi nito, iba sinasabi nito, simply because walang leader. Absent yung leader. And this has been my message in Davao City as early as January. Nung ang pinag-uusapan pa lang ay yung charter change that the president must step up. Titigil yun. He just needs to assert his presidency and his authority. Nakakalungkot. Iba yung sinasabi, yung mga pilit na nag-diffuse using your term and de-escalate tension only to be openly and publicly rebuked by another man from the same administration, only to be rectified, the statement to be rectified after a day or two. Consistent naman sila. Consistent sila sa pagiging inconsistent. Consistent sila ron. Totoo yun. They're very consistent in their inconsistencies. And that is why naririto na tayo sa napipintong limangan. Sino ba ang nag-provoke noong June 17 incident? Ang China ba ang umagrabyado sa Pilipinas? O ang Pilipinas dahil merong unseen but obvious hand, big hand na nagmamaniobra nito, ang nagtutulak para magkiskisa ng ating mga puwersa dyan sa South China Sea. Someone, you said, called that act barbaric. And again, that is following the American line of propaganda. Are they really sure our friends, our American friends, gusto ba talaga nilang pag-usapan yung pagiging barbaric? Because we will go back to that part of our history. Sometime 1902, what they did in Sabah sa mga kababayan ng Bisaya. They turned Sabah into a howling wilderness. Let's not forget, he is an American. Colonel Jacob Smith, I think, eventually ended his military career as a general, nag-promote pa. Pero sinulog niya ang kanyang mandato nun sa kanyang sundalo. If you want to make me happy, kill more people, burn more houses, take no prisoner. Yan ang gusto kong pakainin lahat. Lahat ng 10 years old up at lahat ng gumagalaw, sunugin ninyo. Hindi ba barbaric ang tawag doon? So, babalik tayo sa sinasabi ko, interest kasi dapat ngayon ng Pilipino ang ating ikinukuha, hindi ng Amerikano. Disgrasya tayo pag-interest ng Amerikano. Ang kailangan natin makakain, yung basic muna. Ang kailangan ng Pilipino, pag-aralin yung kanilang mga anak sapagkat ganun pa rin naman yung storya eh. 30, 40 years ago, kailangan anak matapos ka para nang sa ganun, pag ikay nagkaroon ng degree, hopefully magkatrabaho ka, bubuti ang estado natin sa buhay. Yan ang pa rin ang storya. 30, 40, 50 years down the road, yun pa rin ang storya. Ibig sabihin, hindi na tayo naalis sa point A. Hindi na tayo napunta sa point D, E, F, G. Napako tayo sa point A. Yung kwento noon, kwento pa rin ngayon. Eh pag pumasok pa tayo sa digmaan, pupunta tayo sa negative A. Kung may mas mababa pa sa negative A, doon ang punta natin. Paatras tayo ng paatras, hindi na tayo usan. Now, I'm taking notes of what you've said. Dapat ang DFA ang may mandato pagkadating sa foreign policy or issues with foreign nation. Hindi ang military, hindi ang Coast Guard, hindi ang armadong ahensya o component ng ating gobyerno. It must be someone coming from the Department of Foreign Affairs. Pagkat yan ay panlabas ng pakikipag-ugnayan sa mga bansang, sa mga independent state and nations, hindi pwedeng military. We might be accused of us, the one militarizing the issue. Iba yung sinasabi ng civilian authority, he will be, alam niya na susundan niyo, I will not name names. But this guy openly rebuked somebody who is much, much higher than him in the hierarchy of governance. You're just there at the bottom, not to demean him. But you do not rebuke in public somebody who is much, much higher than you, if not the ultimate representation of the president. Why are they allowing him to do that? Somebody must be moving him. Somebody more powerful than the one that he publicly revealed. So who is leading this country? Sino ba ang leader? Nasaan ang ating hinaral? Yun ang kinakailangan natin makita. Now, yung sa vaccine scam, nung pananakot noong COVID pandemic, iba na rin ang naratibo, di ba? Alam mo, tumulong sa atin. Lahat ng tulong kailangan natin, dahil nagsa tayo, talaga, tanggapin natin yun. Hindi tayo pwedeng choosy, ay mahirap tayo. Kung sinong tutulong, sinong sasaklolo, lalo na ng panahon ng pandemya. Of course, well and good. Pero mahirap naman na yung pamukha na generous sa atin ang Amerikano. Because remember, welcome, binigay nyo salamat. Pero dumating yan, nung apaw na yung supply nila ng vaccine. They have to secure first their population. Okay yun. Natural yun. 2 inches old, pandemya yan. Pero huwag naman ipamukha na generous kami sa inyo. Nagbigay kami ng so much because what you've given us is not coming from what little you have, but rather from the excess of what you have. Hindi generosity yun. Surplus yun. You have flooded us with vaccines na sobra-sobra sa inyo. Pero magkipitan, alam mo na kayo, na yung population ko, okay lang din yun, ganun talaga eh. Hindi natin mababago yung katotohanan dito sa ating Brexit. Again, at the pain of being accused as traitor and pro-China, ang direksyon ng China nun eh, to save humanity. Bigay niyo yung available vaccines, happy-happy, and we will produce more. But, wala silang propaganda machine kagaya ng Estados Unidos. But that's between them. The two superpowers, problema nila. Ang sinasabi ko lang, bilang tulong sa'yo, tinolo ko tayo. Babalik tayo yung usapin ng charter change. Yan, ilan na ba ang talagang basis ng Amerikano dito brought about by EDCA? Babalik tayo sa ating karapatang malaman. Binagay ko kanina, Article 13, Section 16. Of course, inususunod pa yan ng Article 2. Section 28, yung ating right to know, at yung Article 3, Section 27, yung right to information on public matters on public interest. Bakit walang nagpapaliwanag sa atin? They are keeping us in the dark. Hindi tayo kapritsoso na humihingi ng bagay na malaman dahil gusto lang natin. Niyo, dahil yan, ay nakaukit sa ating saligang batas. Ang hinihingi natin, yung sinisigaw natin, respect the Constitution. When you respect the Constitution, that goes without saying, you're going to accord your every citizen, every Filipino, respect that is due him. And at least, yung ating karapatang malaman, saan ba tayo patungo, ano ba ang katotohanan, paano ba ginagastos ang pera sa kabangon.